call this meeting back to order. Could we have certification to come back into the meeting, please?
Madam Chairman, according to the votes recorded by the clerk, the School Board of Warren County, it is hereby certified to the best of each member's knowledge. 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies. And 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Second.
Mr. Ballantyne, please call roll.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wells.
Aye.
Mr. Rosen.
Aye.
Mrs. McEatherin.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye. Motion carries. We are out of closed session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is to accept or modify the agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. I do have a statement to make. Mr. Drescher is on paid administrative leave until his retirement on December 31st, 2019. In Mr. Drescher's absence, Ms. Melody Shepard will assume the day-to-day oversight of school duties. Community participation. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Community participation is a time intended for the public to give input on relevant school issues and not intended to be a question and answer period, as this may be the first time the board has heard this information. Please do not expect individual responses or any comments by the board at this time, but be assured that any concerns will be reviewed. Please print your name on the sheet at the podium, state your name and address, and limit your comment to 3 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
Madam Chairman, I am Kim Oakland. I'm the president of the Warren County Education Association. Actually, I get to say I'm co-president now because we have a new co-president, so it's nice to share those duties. But I just wanted to say that we have had for a number of years a very good working relationship with the school board and the central office, and I know that that will continue. We have worked with Ms. Shepard for a number of years now, and so I look forward to continuing to work with her and representing our teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Oakland. Anyone else? No? Recognitions. Recognition of 2019 VSBA Media Honor Roll, recipient Mike McCool and the Royal Examiner.
The Warren County School Board has submitted Mr. McCool's name to the Virginia School Boards Association in recognition of his support for our local school board work and for the public school students in our community. We want to thank him for his commitment to the students in our division. His work has aided in focusing on the goal of providing the best public schools we can have for the children who attend them. We would like to present this certificate to Mr. McCool, so if you'll come up. Kathy?
You gotta turn your faces over here, right? Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And all the things you do, and I know we've worked a lot with the DECA program at Warren County, Mr.
Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the consent agenda as written.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Reports. College Fair 2019 at Skyline High School. Mr. Fox.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'll wait just a moment for Mr. Grant to come and help me out here a little bit.
What would we do without Mr. Grant?
I tell you, we'd be in deep trouble. Deep trouble.
College Fair 2019. So the 2019 College Fair was held at Skyline High School just last week on September 25th from 1 to 2 p.m. And there were a ton of representatives there from our colleges. Matter of fact, there were over 71 colleges and universities, and 4 branches of the military came. And it was an impressive showing. This is the 11th year that the College Fair has been held, and it's been held at Skyline High School all these years. So we had students from Skyline, Warren, from Luray, Page County. We've also in the past had several local private schools that have come and attended. And frankly, this is an incredible event for our students. I would, as I've seen it now, I'm going to invite everyone from the board to come next year. I think you'll need to see how impressive this event is. Students spoke with recruiters and admission representatives from local schools. You can see one of our students there with the representative from Old Dominion. And so they met individually and they met in large groups of friends where they walked around and had a large, good time meeting each other and meeting the representatives. Virginia schools were well represented. You can see the representative there from Virginia Tech. And we also had from several other states. The Florida State representative is there, Marshall University, and right around the corner was James Madison, and Dana Allison asked me to make sure to point that out. Should have taken a picture of that for him. The Army, the Air Force, Army, Marines, and Navy all sent their recruiters, and they were not, lots of students stopped by to see what was going on. We had organizers that, it was so large they had to open up both sides of the gymnasium, had to open up the doors, and frankly, even then it was a little bit tight. And I'd like to thank Greg Livesey because there were so many people that came, so many recruiters and so many colleges that we didn't have enough tables at Skyline High School to hold the event. So the maintenance department made it possible. The Skyline Athletic Association provided water and cookies. And Skyline High School, they greeted everyone warmly as they came through. So again, we had tons and tons of people. Hope I'm not going through here too fast for you guys. But we were very pleased to offer this opportunity for our students and students from surrounding counties. When they finished with us, they went over to Winchester and met with students from the Frederick County schools in Winchester. But it's very nice that we're the first stop on their tour.
Good.
So this is the College Fair 2019, and I wonder if you had any questions or comments.
Was this just for seniors or juniors and seniors?
This is for juniors and seniors.
Good.
Have any idea what the attendance was, number-wise, roughly?
Roughly, well, we had, let's see, the entire senior class and entire junior class from
Just from
Skyline, so there's 400.
Mm-hmm.
Then Warren County High School brought somewhere between 50 and 60 students over. Luray brought a bus. Page, it seems like Page brought a bus also.
Okay.
So I didn't do my math there, but close to 500.
That's good. It's real good.
Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Stay where you are. The Trek to Excellence.
I'd like to stay here even longer than I'm going to stay here because I was involved with the Trek to Excellence last year. But we've had a bit of a change of guard. And Carla Scott is now in charge of our Trek to Excellence, our introduction for teachers new to Warren County Public Schools. And she's also in charge of Trek 2 and Trek 3 for our teachers that are in their second and third year. So I'm going to bring Carla Scott up.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Carla.
I was told 10 minutes. I could talk about this for 10 hours because it's I love doing this job. It's
good.
It's the most awesome job ever. I taught 26 years, and education's just in my blood. So I like being at a place where I can help the next generation of teacher. It's exciting. So I just handed you a brochure, so I'll start from the beginning. We send out a welcome letter and a brochure about our induction program along with their contracts. So that's the first contact we make with our new teachers is a welcome letter and this brochure that comes with them, their contract in the mail. And then the next thing, they will attend the Trek to Excellence Institute week-long teacher orientation. This year it was July 29th through August 2nd. They're with us for the morning, and then in the afternoon they go to their schools and have time there. So this is our group this year. We had the Trek to Excellence Teacher Orientation Week at Warren County Middle School and the Commons area, and it was perfect. It was the best venue ever. It was just great. And they sat at the tables in groups with their schools so they could kind of get to know each other. And that was the end of the week picture. So here's some of the things we do. We start out every morning, they'll sign in and we give them a little gift. We gave them a Warren County Public Schools mug, and we gave them a stress ball, so caffeine to get them going and a stress ball to calm them down. And then other little various teacher supply type gifts each morning to welcome them every day. They got a hot breakfast. Sue Ann Fox and the food service gave really good breakfast. All of us there were like, oh, what do we do after this week? We'll have to fix our own breakfast. It was really good. We give door prizes out all day. Each school creates a really beautiful, nice gift basket and donates it, and we give those out. And then the community, also Tammy Holloway at the office there at the front desk, she's magic at getting donations, and we had various restaurants and community businesses to give some gift cards to give out during the week. And it also helps the new teachers that come here from other places to go visit our businesses too. It helps promote them. And then we have a big prize on Friday from the school board office. It's a big deal. They have lunch with their principals and induction coaches on that first day. They have a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. I'm sure you're familiar with that. That's really nice. They like that a lot. Then we also have presentations. Buck and Personnel Department has a presentation, and Kim and Jay Deck did a really nice, WCEA came and did a really nice presentation. The instructional resource team, we're all involved and give presentations on the classroom management and the kinds of things they need to know as their first week starts. And the technology department did a really nice presentation. We did something new this year. This was Alan's idea. We had principal scenarios. So principals and assistant principals came, and we set up stations, probably 12 stations. So 12 administrators came, and we put the teachers in small groups, and they rotated around. And each principal had like a scenario, like, what if this happened? What would you do? And then they had a discussion about it, and it was really nice. We got a lot of good feedback from that. And then, of course, in the afternoon, they worked in their schools, and then we had after-hours activities, which were very fun. It was a nice time to do some social networking, because like I say, some of these kids, I call them kids, because to me they're kids. They come from out of state, right, and they're the first time they're ever on their own in a new place, so it's kind of important they meet each other and socialize and have some time together. So here's a picture of the caverns. Alan went over and spoke with them. They were very generous and gave free passes to every teacher, new teacher in our program. And a big group did go that day, even though it was raining. It was really drippy in there, but it was fun. Everybody had a good time. And then they went to Spelunkers for dinner after that. So that was kind of one of the best after hours. And feedback we got was, and these are quotes, we did take a little survey at the end. So these are some of the feedbacks. Love the positive, nurturing atmosphere, so very engaging, great energy, humor. Food was delicious. Prizes were a nice surprise. They liked discussion and hearing everyone's input. They liked the principal, this scenario thing that we did. They did say we needed better seating. So we realized sitting at the cafeteria tables for a whole morning was probably not a good idea. So next year we're going to have chairs with backs. but that was really one of the only negative things we got. So the next step, or the next path on the Trek Excellence, is our monthly meetings. We meet with all the new teachers monthly for our continued professional development and support. We also have another layer of support. Every school has an induction coach, and every teacher has a mentor to provide in-house support. And that kind of looks like the induction coaches meet with them every month to talk about things that are specific to that month. So in August, all the new things that they had, the forms they had to fill out. In September, there were various things that have to be done in September, and as the months go by, there are certain things that have to be done. So they meet with them once a month. The mentors check in with them pretty much every day, the first month or two, and then they kind of wean them away, but they're always there. They get to observe in other teachers' classrooms, so they can see master teachers in action, and so that helps. We also talk to them, and the mentors and the induction coaches are there to help them with self-care, because, and about right now, actually, they're becoming a little overwhelmed. The reality is setting in, the honeymoon's over, and this is a job, and so they have to prioritize and be able to balance work and life and those sorts of things. And they continue with that social networking. Again, these guys are here on their own for the first time, some of them, so it's good for them. We're always better if we have a support group, a social support group. And our instructional resource team is outstanding. They help put on the whole week, orientation week, and it's amazing. And I really like the way the new teachers see the instructional resource team and Alan and Lisa as a team that supports them, that we really do make them feel like we are your support team. And so right now, every new teacher's classroom has been visited by a member of the instructional resource team. We've divided and conquered. Every classroom's been visited, and every teacher's been given some feedback so far. So they know we're still with them, and we're going to continue with them through the year. So Trek 2 and 3 is how we keep that ongoing support. So the focus for years 2 and 3 is to help them. So first year is, most time, some of them don't know what they don't know. So we have to help them with that. In the second and third year, they're starting to know what they don't know and start self-reflecting on their practice and getting better at it, because they're learning what they need to do. So in September, they had to videotape themselves teaching a lesson and do a self-reflection. November, they'll do another one, and we'll have a meeting where they kind of discuss it with a peer and view each other's lessons. And then in February, they'll do it one more time. So we kind of are trying to get them to start reflecting upon their own practice and how they can make improvements for themselves. And then we always try to share some sort of inspirational video, and this was our September video.
I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike one. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike two. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike three. Wow! I'm the greatest pitcher in the world! Yes!
Optimism. Pass it on.
So that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
I just thank you for all that you all do. I know a lot of these teachers come here and they're totally lost, and just having the mentors is a great thing. I mean, we've had a couple of grades in some schools where every teacher is a first-year teacher, right?
Yeah.
And if they didn't have mentors and other people that they could go and cry on their shoulders or ask for help and guidance, they'd be lost. So thank you for all that you're doing. Acceptance of donation. Yes, never mind. Wait a minute. Back up. Reports. Superintendent report, Ms. Shepherd.
I was getting there. So we just calculated our September 30th membership, and we have 5,225 students, which represents 75 more students than we budgeted for, which is great news. We've received accreditation information, and 7 of our schools are accredited, and we applaud their accomplishments. 2 of our schools, E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School and Skyline High School, are accredited with conditions. E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School has made significant gains in their academic achievement over the last year. The staff and the students at E. Wilson worked tirelessly to improve their performance, and they're continuing that work this year. I have no doubt that their achievement will continue to grow. Skyline High School is accredited with conditions due to the number of students who were chronically absent last year. Attendance is essential for students to do well in school. So we have put several processes in place, and we expect attendance to improve this year. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. Warren County Public Schools addresses this bullying and bullying behavior in a variety of ways, which are all evidence-based practices. In collaboration with the Warren Coalition, we offer the I'm Happy program, Second Step, Life Skills, and Anger Management program. This winter, we will be offering the same SKY program for our middle school students. At the school level, we have numerous practices, which include school counselor groups and instruction, the Great Kindness Challenge, peer mediation, ripple effects, Reaching Out Now, Girls Leadership Program, digital citizenship, the BIG program at E. Wilson Morrison, check-in, check-out program, and positive behavior supports. Our schools value kindness and strive to have an environment conducive to learning. We have 15 students who are participating in the Project Courage, which is a trauma intervention program with individual and group counseling. This program supports students in the classroom and in the community. The First Lady of Virginia visited the students and staff at E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School and Ressie Jeffries Elementary School preschool program on Thursday, September the 19th. Ms. Northam is interested in early intervention, which involves the services and supports that promotes a child's age-appropriate growth and development. Special Olympics basketball has started at Hilda Barber Elementary School on Tuesdays for the month of October. For more information, you can contact the Special Services Office. And Warren County High School Band is taking orders for their annual fruit sale.
Thank you. School board reports. Mr. Williams?
Yes, Madam Chair. A couple things. Melody, Ms. Shepherd was talking about, the different schools at E. Wilson and Skyline and being provisional right now, and attendance is a big deal. And that's something that changed this year for us, attendance being graded, so to speak. And I can speak for E. Wilson because I see it about every day. I see those folks very engaged out front. And I can speak for A.S. Rhodes because I go there every day. And the people are engaged, from the teachers that I see and the SROs that are there. They're all, most of them call the children by name, which is impressive as heck to me, that they remember in the first week's time the children's names. And you can see the little kids' faces light up. So I think that encourages them. They get excited because, they recognize me. And I like to see that. That's great. And I'm sure the other schools are doing the same thing. I just don't have the opportunity to be at those schools at that time. The next thing is, received a message from Lord Fairfax. We had a few students that needed a little financial help that are dual enrolled. Sent a message out to a group of people and met a gentleman from California. And he said, he heard me talking to somebody else, and he's like, what can I do? I said, well, whatever you can do. And he wrote a substantial check. And it's the first time I've ever met the gentleman. But he felt education was that important, and he lives in California. So it's nice to see not only local folks jumped right on it, but here's a gentleman, 3,000 plus miles away, and just said, I'll do it. So that makes you feel good, and that's good for the children of our community. Lastly, I'd like to wish Mr. Drescher a good life and thank him for his service that he did for Warren County Public Schools. I think he gave us his all every day. That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Rosen?
Arnold, that's nice words said for Greg. I think as I leave the school board at the end of this year, I think I've really enjoyed working with Greg in so many areas. It just takes forever to think about them all, but he's always been open. He's been compassionate to students, and he has been probably one of the biggest assets Warren County school system has had in many years. And gonna miss him. Of course, I'm not gonna be here, but I can still go see him.
Thank you. Mrs. McEachern?
Thank you guys for those comments, and I'd just like to say ditto. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. Mr. Wells?
A couple of things. One, I saw a group of folks that I recognized at the hospital today, and they were some of our staff and teachers, and they were getting their diabetes certification so that they can deal effectively with some of our students that might have needs and that kind of thing, and found out that I think it's like a quarterly or a periodic program that Valley Health training that Valley Health does for our staff, and I think that's great. Want to thank Mr. Goodman for being able to come down and see E. Wilson when First Lady Northam was there. Particularly impressed by the big group. They're doing a great job, and those fellas will turn out fine. To Mr. McCool and the Royal Examiner, we appreciate everything you've done. You've filled a much-needed function in our community, and timely coverage of all of our school board meetings, and any functions that you're aware of, you usually come and try to film those and get that out to the people in real time, and that really helps. They show us warts and all, but we do appreciate their coverage. And the final thing is, I said this under oath, so I feel comfortable saying it now. There is nothing that makes me feel that Greg Drescher ever gave anything less than 100% of his time, attention, and skill to leading this school system. And his focus was clear at all times that our students and staff deserve the best opportunities to succeed which we could give him. And I wish him all the best.
Thank you. I also just want to state my appreciation for Mr. Drescher's 37 years of dedication to education, and 34 of those years were here in Warren County. His passion for education was evident in many of the programs that he initiated, and I have 3 pages of lists here of those programs, but just to highlight a few, some of the things to benefit our students. Students in grades 6 through 12 now all have Chromebooks to use as learning tools, and elementary schools have Chromebook carts for each grade level. The E. Wilson Morrison Elementary became a CEP school, which provides breakfast and lunch at no charge to all of its students. The implementation of summer mobile food programs. The implementation of Family Engagement Coordinator, which generated a significant increase in enrollment of preschool students. The development of more after-school middle school program, and then things that he initiated for staff. One of his most recent was the competitive market adjustment for teachers with 11 to 25 years of experience, and the enhanced platform for self-care for staff. And that was part of his commitment for retention of teachers. And then something he did for all of us on the board was to get the implementation of the board docs up so we can have everything on computer and we don't have paper that we have to recycle and waste now, and that has been a big help for me. So I just want to thank Mr. Drescher for his guidance and all he's done for our school system and for his friendship. Action agenda. Adopt corporate resolution agreement for Warren County Public Schools, Section 125, Flexible Benefit Plan. Mr. Smith.
Good evening. Warren County Public Schools has provided employees with an opportunity to participate in a Section 125 flexible benefits plan since January 1st, 1989. Employees are able to make pre-tax contributions for health care, dependent care, and health care flexible spending accounts as a result of the school board's participation. This resolution itself is merely a housekeeping detail from CPN, which is the corporate planning network that we run this through. We've already filled out all the other forms that we need to continue to do this. Any time that we see the word resolution or something like that in the document, normally we bring that to the board just to seek their approval for the school board chair to sign. So this program's been in effect for quite some time. It's been extremely helpful to our employees over the years, and we wish to continue to serve in this role.
Any questions for Mr. Smith? No? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that the Warren County School Board adopt the certificate corporate resolution from Corporate Planning Network for Warren County Public Schools, Section 125 Flexible Benefits Plan, and authorize the school board chair to sign the resolution.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Addition of one kindergarten teacher at the Leslie Fox Kaiser Elementary School. Mr. Smith.
Yes. One additional floater kindergarten teacher position is being requested for Leslie Fox Kaiser Elementary School. Warren County Public Schools receives roughly $124,000 in a funding from the K-3 primary class size reduction program. A specific requirement of receiving funding for this program is that K-3 class size enrollment must remain 24 students or fewer. LFK has 4 kindergarten classes. Class enrollments are 24, 24, 25, and 26. The position is titled a floater position, as this position would follow LFK kindergarten's class through their K-5 experience. If the numbers do not justify the position will either be absorbed into another vacant elementary position through attrition, or the position will not be refilled. The teacher candidate would be aware of these stipulations prior to the official hiring process. The cost and financing, obviously, by the grant that we receive, we would receive funding for that position, as well as our ability with staff turnover this past year to fund that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to
So
entertain.
this is a teacher that's hired initially as a kindergarten teacher, and she'll just be looping up each year?
That's correct. That's why it's called a floater.
Okay.
That's why it's called a floater, because as that class continues to go through, those numbers realistically could remain the same, or they become more and those type of things, or they could become less, obviously. So that person follows that grade. So not necessarily those particular students
Students,
each
right.
year, and it floats as it goes. We've used this model in some of our other schools, and normally when we get to the 5th grade level, if we start at a grade level prior to that, normally through attrition, if we no longer need that position, then we can fill that person back with a position that we already have that's vacant.
Mr. Smith, what happens, because this is K through 5, and those kids say they stay constant, and we always have this person in place. Then when they go in 6th grade, will that teacher move to another school, or will we be able to absorb those extra children where our classrooms be fine? Or is this just specific to the grant for the K through 5?
Well, it is specific to the grant that it's a K through 3 class size reduction.
Okay.
So it is specifically so that we can maintain a smaller classroom. We can also maintain the funding that comes along with that, not only for this position, but for other positions as well.
And we have a classroom available, space?
That I'd refer to
Yes,
Ms.
we do.
Shepherd.
We do. They are actually working through the logistics right, sorry. They're working through the logistics right now about how they're actually going to do it. So they may end up moving a second grade class so that the kindergarten teacher will be with the other kindergarten teacher. So they're working through those logistics now.
Okay.
But
But
this
there
will-
is one space
This will
available.
create a fifth class.
Yes, it will create a fifth class in kindergarten.
So we'll have smaller classes
Yes.
together. That'll be nice.
Yes.
A lot smaller.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that the school board approves the addition of one kindergarten floater teacher at Leslie Fox Elementary School due to classroom size.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Acceptance of donation, Mrs. Shepherd.
Thank you. Catherine Glasscock is donating snacks at each of our schools for the hungry, food insecure students in the county. She approached Mr. Dresser a little over a month ago to do this, and she's collected snacks from the community and from stores, and so she is wanting to donate those to all of our schools.
Is this the same Catherine Glasscock, Katie?
Yes.
That has done her
Yes.
Girl Scout?
Yes.
Okay, great. I know she's worked very hard on that. It's wonderful. Thank you. Is there a motion on that?
Madam Chair, I make a motion, I move that the donation of snacks by Catherine Glasscock for hungry, food insecure students at each of the schools be accepted with gratitude.
Is there a second? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, and thanks to Katie. First reading of the 2020-2021 school calendar. Mrs. Shepherd.
Thank you. Policy IC-ID requires the school board to establish the division's calendar in accordance with applicable regulations and to include contingencies for making up teacher days and teaching hours missed for emergency situation. The attached calendar is being presented for your consideration for the 2020-2021 school year. The key information is school would start August the 11th, would be the first day of school. This is a Tuesday. This current year, we started school on a Monday, but the feedback from our calendar committee has been that they would rather have a shorter week that first week of school for kids to start getting into the routine of school. The end of the first advisory would be October the 14th, 2020. Fall break would be November 25th through the 27th. The end of the first advisory would be December the 22nd. Winter break would be December the 23rd through January the 5th for students, and December 23rd through January the 3rd for staff. There will be two professional days following the winter break for staff. Spring break will be March the 29th through April the 5th, and this will be a guaranteed spring break, which means that it will not be used for weather makeup days. The last day of school would be June the 4th. There are 7 built-in weather makeup days, and students will not be in school for more than 180 days. If we do not miss more than 7 days due to weather, time will be taken off at the end of the school year. And there are 13 professional development days included in the calendar. So this is the first reading. Our committee has met a couple of times this year. They have shared this calendar with their staffs. And after tonight's meeting, I plan on emailing it to all staff members to get feedback. And the next meeting, October the 16th, I believe, will be the second reading and discussion, and then recommendation for approval on November the 6th. Be happy to try to answer any
If you use all of your weather
questions.
makeup days, do they, I know we used to extend the school day by a few minutes to make up that time. Is that still?
So we can do, they call it banked time, and we have several days that we would have to miss beyond the 7 in order to have to extend the school day. So we have several that we could use bank time for, yes.
Okay.
So June the 4th is the,
Would be the last day of
hard
school.
stop.
It is the hard
But it-
last day of school,
but
yes.
it's possible that would move.
Yeah, we're not going beyond June the 4th.
And graduation will be the week prior?
So we haven't determined that yet, but likely yes.
Okay.
which would be, I think, Memorial Weekend, I believe.
Okay. Great. Any questions?
We will. We can? Yep.
So public can see it.
Okay, thank you. Discussions by school board. The VSBA Title IX Best Practices and Training and Compliance Workshop is January the 29th at the VSBA office. If you're interested in attending that, please let Mr. Ballantyne know. I believe that's the same workshop that was done here last week? Okay. Work session. We now need to have a work session where we will have discussion of the 2011 or 2011B and 2012A bond refunding opportunity through the Virginia Resource Authority, 2019C fall bond refunds. Are we going to move into the conference room?
Yes, please.
Okay, so anyone who would like to join us in there for the work session?